Have you tried standing on one leg and balancing your body for a while? And have you struggled with it? Ha! I have a tip for you and maybe some advice too. Hello and welcome to another edition of Chai with Pai, our weekly series of videos where I try and share simple lessons and stories to help each of us get just a bit better. Every morning after a shower, as I'm drying myself with a towel, I think of my fitness trainer. And if you're wondering why, let me explain. I used to struggle with standing on one leg and balancing my body. So every morning after a shower, as I was trying to dry myself, I'd stand on one leg and pull the other leg up to try and wipe it dry. And I'd struggle and have to put my foot down. And then I'd pull it up a second time and maybe sometimes a third time too. But that was until recently. One day, while doing some mobility training exercises with my fitness trainer, one of the exercises required us to stand on one leg and balance our bodies and stand straight. And as I struggled with it and swayed and almost fell off, my trainer advised me to focus on that big fat toe. He says, put your weight on that big fat toe. Turns out that our instinct when we are struggling to balance is to put all our weight on those 4 smaller toes. And that is a bad idea. Focus on that big toe, he said to us. Fire that big toe into the ground and you will discover that almost magically the other smaller toes also seem to get engaged and you will find it so much easier to balance yourself. Try it. It works, as I discover every morning when I dry myself with a towel after a shower. And then, as I began to think about it, it struck me that maybe this is a good idea for our lives too. In our lives, when you're in trouble, when you need help, who's that big fat toe that you can turn to? Who's that pillar of support that you can turn to? Maybe you should know who that big fat toe in your life is. Because what can happen to us sometimes is when things are falling apart, when things are going wrong, you can make the mistake of trying to reach out to everybody looking for help, and you're trying to scramble and find those 4 smaller toes to help you out. But that's exactly the time when you need to say, hey, who's my big fat toe? Who's that pillar that I can turn to for help and I know will help me to stand straight? Good thought. Try and make sure you know who that big toe in your life is. And as a friend pointed out when I shared the story with him, he says, maybe a good idea to also ask yourself, for whom are you the big fat toe? Think about it. And if you've liked this video, do hit that like button, share and subscribe. And hey, until next time, enjoy your chai.